you're measuring the wrong things. And this would be height, PP size, and all that other stuff. What do you hear on media? Like the media that you see, like on TikTok. Those interviews, for example, like what's your body count? That type of low vibrational stuff. You just see the you just see those videos, and they usually say things like, when it comes to what I just said, like height, size. Oh, what's your height? How tall are you? How tall does a guy need to be? Da 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 da. And then what do you hear? The usual stuff, right? He's gotta be this tall, and he's gotta be, you know what I mean? And then it's, oh yeah. Then you hear guys, right? Because that's usually girls who get asked that question. You hear guys like, oh yeah, usually I'm 6 foot on a good day. I'm 5'11" on a good day. It's like, okay, I have a mic now, and I was rudely interrupted, but let's keep going. So that's usually the stuff you hear, right? I'm this tall on a good day. What? What do you mean? I'm only 6'1"? I'm 6'3". Da, 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 da. And this is what you see on mediocre YouTube channels or those interviews that I was talking about. Top five X type of stuff, and it's just it's obviously going to condition you to want to measure exactly these things, the black pill stuff. And that's what I'm going to talk about, that you're measuring the wrong things, even though society tells you, or more so the internet tells you, to measure these things. And I'm not saying to go all blue pill either. No, it's not going to be all freaking sunshine and rainbow. Is not. The blue pill is also incorrect with many things. And I've talked about this in another video, so I won't go too much into that. It seems that all you see on the internet is all that people really care about measuring is the external things, more so the things you can't really change. Obviously, there are ways to alter your height and size, whatever. You can't really transform unless, I guess, you're in puberty. And I'm not saying this to breed hopelessness in you. I'm saying this because if you do get any change, significant change in these areas that internet wants you to care about so much, you still will have this problem. I mean, just look at clavicular. That guy. The guy did ascend. If you call it that, according to the black pill, he is, Shad level or whatever, objectively. But the guy seems like he's going through a lot, and that's because even if you do change in that metric, the things you were actually supposed to measure, you forgot all about. And you've become so low value in those things now that they ultimately they make all the changes and results you got for nothing. For example, mental health. You can be 6'4" and look great, but if your mental health sucks, it doesn't really matter that much. Now, I've learned to care about the external stuff too, from, well, TikTok. The looks maxing era. I was like, what, 17 or something when that came out. All the Chico and Jordan edits and whatnot. It's way worse now, actually, I must say. But it's pretty bad. And that was all I was watching for hours a day. During school, before school, after school. It was just spamming black pill stuff into my head. And so I've come to care a lot about those things too. I couldn't tell you how many times, I'll expose myself, how many times I've measured my PP. My dingling must have been measured about all around, probably around 100 times ever since I started measuring it. And it got so ridiculous, I had to buy a specific measuring um, tape that would bend so I could, be exact with my number. And if I'm happy with it, great day. If it's a little bit under this day, horrible day. So again, that's the instant gratification coming in. What I'm trying to say is you're measuring the wrong things. You're not meant to be measuring your height. You're not meant to be measuring your PP size. You're not meant to be measuring your jawline, whatever the freak. All the black pill stuff. You're measuring the wrong things. And why I'm saying that, and I gave an example in the beginning, is even if you do get all the results you want in all these metrics, you still won't be satisfied because ultimately there's a big void. And that's the things that you should have been measuring from the start. Things like mental health, things like compassion, things like charisma, personality, things like IQ, knowledge, wisdom, things like strength, speed. These are actual things that you should be measuring. And maybe not so much, I guess, speed and strength, depending on what you do, is impacting how important that is for you. But I know I sound like a massive blue pillar right now, but most of these things, when you work on them, you'll find it much easier to work on the external things too. It won't become your primary target of increasing the value of. It will be the things I just listed, and new things, well, that'll come with it. It'll be like a bonus to you. But you will never sacrifice the former for the latter. So you will never sacrifice your mental health for caring about your height, caring about your size. You know, if you feel insecure about your height one day, maybe somebody said something like, "Oh, yeah, you look short," and you didn't like it. You wouldn't look at your height. If you measure the right things, you wouldn't be looking at your height as the problem there. You wouldn't be like, okay, so how do I get taller? No. You look at, why am I so upset about that? You get where I'm going, right? Why am I so upset about what this person said? Did I meditate today? How much have I been on social media? Whose value have I been praising and whose value have I not really cared about lately? You see? And then when that gets solved, let's say, then you'll be the same height, but next time somebody says that to you, you'll just you'll be all stoic. With the measurements that I've said you should focus on, these ones you can actually change significantly, exponentially even. You can literally make your mental health go from 0 to 100. Obviously not in one day, but with time, yes. Same thing with upgrading your strength, your speed. It's like a video game. Upgrading your knowledge, wisdom. I guess wisdom comes with age too, but not really. Just how much you pay attention. That's what leads to wisdom and knowledge. Mental health, um, dopamine intake, diet. These things will change you and you can actually control the outcome. And I don't want to say control because control is not something you should strive for. You actually have hope in those areas. I'm not saying you don't have hope in the external stuff you do, like you can improve your looks too, but not nearly as much as you can improve the things that I've talked about here. And so when you change these things, your value goes up by a lot more than it would have if, let's say, you're a sub 5 here and here. In this category, you improve all the things I've advocated for. You're still a sub 5 externally. Here, you're a sub 5, but then you do all the things the black pillars want you to do. And you try to improve on all that. You become as good looking as you can according to the black pill. Which of these two do you think has more value? Which of these two do you think people would appreciate more? Which of these two do you think would have more respect from people? Which of these two do you think is more at peace with themselves? This one. I've been Adrian. Thanks for watching. Bye.